The deep red wine arced through the air in slow motion, catching the chandelier light like liquid rubies before crashing onto the delicate cream fabric. The pearls, hand-sewn by my grandmother decades ago, absorbed the stain instantly, turning the heirloom dress into a ruined testament of betrayal. My mother gasped, her hand flying to her chest as the color drained from her face. The private room at Willowbrook Estate fell into stunned silence, forks hovering midair, eyes darting between the spill and Ashley. No. Brooke Ellis, my sister-in-law, who stood there with wide eyes and a perfectly manicured hand pressed to her mouth in mock horror. "Happy birthday, Mom," Brooke said with a light laugh that didn't reach her eyes, using that affectionate nickname she'd claimed years ago. "I'm so clumsy tonight." Must be the excitement. It wasn't clumsiness. I knew it in my bones. Watching her calculated stagger, the precise angle of the glass tilt. This was the culmination of years of subtle digs. The final public humiliation designed to eclipse my 34th birthday celebration and assert her dominance once more. But as the burgundy liquid spread, something inside me shifted, not breaking, but crystallizing. The years of shrinking myself, of biting my tongue in our crowded Oak Park home outside Chicago, had built to this moment. Emily Harper, third-grade teacher at Maple Grove Elementary, was about to rewrite the narrative. Let's go back to where it all began. 5 years earlier, my older brother Ethan had brought Brooke home one crisp autumn evening, her laughter echoing through our spacious craftsman-style house like she already owned the place. Brooke was the kind of woman who turned heads, tall, polished, with glossy dark hair always perfectly styled, and an Instagram feed full of aspirational marketing campaigns and influencer collabs. She called herself a brand strategist and content creator, though the content mostly revolved around her curated lifestyle. Ethan, a software engineer, was smitten immediately. Our family, my husband Ryan, our daughter Sophie, then just turning 1, Ethan, Brooke, and our parents Margaret and Thomas had all moved in together temporarily after my father's mild heart scare. The plan was to pool resources, help with bills, and save for separate homes. Temporary became permanent as 2 years stretched into 5. The big house on the tree-lined street in Oak Park felt like a pressure cooker from the start. My mother, Margaret, had always been my biggest supporter. She attended every school open house, praised my lesson plans, and bragged about how I inspired young minds. But after Brooke arrived, the conversations shifted. "Did you see Brooke's latest reel? Over 5,000 views already," Mom would say at breakfast while I marked spelling tests. "She's really building something special."
Dad.
Thomas would nod approvingly, his eyes lighting up at mentions of follower counts climbing past 30K. I tried to brush it off. I had Ryan, steady and kind, who worked as a graphic designer from home, and Sophie, with her bright curiosity and endless questions about the world. Teaching filled my days with purpose, the moment a child grasped multiplication or wrote their first story. Those small victories grounded me. But the comparisons chipped away. Family dinners became Brooke showcases, her latest campaign wins, sponsored posts, networking events. My stories about a student overcoming reading struggles earned polite smiles before the topic pivoted back to Brooke's exciting world. The loan started innocently enough. In early 2023, Brooke pitched her online lifestyle boutique, curated home goods, fashion drops, affirmation-infused wellness products. "It's going to explode," she promised, eyes shining with ambition. Ryan and I had been saving aggressively for our own place, a modest down payment in a good school district. But when Brooke sat us down in the sunroom one rainy March afternoon, tears glistening as she spoke of family unity and believing in dreams, we caved. $12,000 transferred from our house fund, with her solemn vow to repay in 6 months plus interest. The launch was flashy, professional photo shoots, giveaway campaigns, virtual events with micro-influencers. Initial sales looked promising, but soon came the pivots to crystal-embedded journals, then eco-friendly apparel. By the repayment deadline, the money was gone, spent on branding essentials and personal expenses. When I gently reminded her over coffee, Brooke's expression hardened. "Emily, real businesses take time. You're not going to waste it on crayons and construction paper anyway. Consider it seed money for something bigger." That contemptuous tone marked the shift. Borrowed clothes returned stained or stretched. Dinner guests heard that my homemade pies were charmingly store-bought. Snide remarks about my post-pregnancy figure, delivered sweetly when others were out of earshot. "You'll never glow like I do, Emily." Embrace being the reliable one, the boring sister-in-law who keeps things steady. I try confiding in Ethan. "She's just passionate," he'd say dismissively. "Lighten up." Ryan, exhausted from deadlines, suggested I was reading too much into it. "She's under pressure." Mom would pat my hand. "Not everyone shines the same way, dear. The world needs teachers too." The weight accumulated. The confident teacher who commanded her classroom of energetic 8-year-olds felt invisible at home, her voice shrinking to whispers. Sophie noticed first, climbing into my lap during tense dinners with quiet hugs. By my birthday, July 2024, the family had booked the private room at Willowbrook, a thoughtful gesture after years of minimal acknowledgement. I wore a simple navy dress, feeling elegant for once. Friends from school brought heartfelt gifts. Sophie presented a handmade card with crayon flowers. Even Ethan shared childhood stories that had everyone laughing. Brooke arrived fashionably late in a striking red gown, air-kissing me while handing over a gift bag. "Something for those teacher fatigue lines under your eyes." The toast came during dessert. "To Emily, the steady one who's stuck with teaching all these years. So proud of your consistency, even as opportunities passed you by." She gestured at my dress. "My life. We can't all chase the spotlight." Then the stagger. The spill, not on me, but perfectly aimed at Mom's cherished vintage dress, the one passed down with stories of family resilience. The room erupted in chaos. Mom's face crumpled. Dad dabbed futilely. My friend Carla, a sharp-witted attorney, muttered about deliberate intent as she helped clean up. The evening collapsed. Guests excused themselves awkwardly. In the car, ride home, Sophie asleep in back, Ryan silent. I couldn't face going inside immediately. I drove to a quiet overlook in Lincoln Park, tears flowing as years of erasure crashed over me. I called Brooke. "Apologize to Mom," I said, voice trembling. "That dress was irreplaceable. It was an accident. Emily, you're overreacting again. No one believes your drama, anyway. Your own family sees you're the problem, the boring one holding everyone back." Her laughter cut deep, echoing the truths I'd internalized. But beneath the pain, a cold clarity emerged. For over a year, I'd harbored a secret that would change everything. In January 2023, amid the growing emotional suffocation, I'd started something small in the quiet hours. After Sophie slept and Ryan gamed, I'd retreat to the converted garden shed, telling everyone it was for organizing school materials. There, under soft lamplight, I poured my creativity into Willow and in creations, hand-illustrated journals, planners, and stationery featuring watercolor botanicals, Chicago-inspired motifs, and uplifting calligraphy messages drawn from my teaching experiences. It began as therapy, a way to reclaim my voice through art. An Etsy shop launched quietly, expecting modest sales to fellow educators. But authentic designs resonated. Orders trickled, then surged. Customers praised the tangible quality in a digital world. By month 4, fulfillment overwhelmed me. I partnered with a local print shop in the suburbs, expanded to custom prints and subscription boxes. I kept it hidden. A P.O. box for mail, separate accounts, late-night packing sessions. By mid-2024, Willow and Ink had generated nearly $2 million in revenue. 27 remote employees handle design and customer service. Wholesale deals with major retailers in Chicago, New York, and LA. A silent investment in a popular local coffee roastery, Maple and Bean. Transformed it into a community hub with my branding input, lines out the door on weekends. No one knew. Not Ryan. Not my parents.
Not Ethan.
I'd waited for the right moment to declare independence. But Brooke's latest cruelty crystallized the plan. I called in sick the next day and met with business attorney David Lang at his downtown Chicago office. I need protection for my assets and a strategic reveal, I explained, sliding over evidence, unpaid loan docs, screenshots of Brooke's mocking texts, financial statements, audio clips of private insults captured discreetly over months. Lang reviewed quietly, impressed. You've built an empire quietly, Emily. Why the secrecy? I explained the family dynamic, the favoritism, dismissals, Brooke's control. He nodded, outlining steps. Gather more proof, including employee testimonials, audit verifications, statements from the coffee roastery owner confirming my role, and a glowing letter from my principal highlighting my teaching impact. Over the following weeks, I documented everything meticulously. Recordings of Brooke's venomous asides. Know your place, Emily. You're the plain one. Proof of her misusing loan funds on luxury purchases. I confided in Carla, who offered legal strategy without conflict. The perfect stage emerged, Mom's 60th birthday luncheon in September, hosted at Belmont Plaza's Grand Ballroom. Brooke had insisted on organizing it into a networking spectacle, inviting influencers, potential partners, her curated circle. The day arrived. I chose a custom emerald gown, elegant yet understated, paired with Grandma's emerald earrings Mom had gifted me pre-Brooke. Ryan noticed the change. You seem powerful today. I shared enough for him to understand a major reveal was coming. His hurt at being kept in the dark evident, but supportive as I explained the hidden success. We arrived precisely on time. The ballroom buzzed with Mom's friends mingled among Brooke's glossy contacts. Mom sat regal yet tense in a new dress Brooke selected. Brooke glided through the crowd in designer attire, phone perpetually filming. She faltered seeing my poise but recovered with a tight smile. Emily, you clean up well. Rental? The event unfolded as scripted by Brooke, speeches praising her energy revitalizing the family, elaborate courses, a montage video featuring her prominently despite short tenure, gifts presented in her ordered sequence, saving hers for last. When my turn came, I stepped to the small stage, heart pounding but voice steady.
Mom.
For your 60th. I wanted something meaningful. Ryan dimmed lights. The screen switched from Brooke's photos to my Willow and Ink logo. I founded this in 2023, a small stationery line that grew. Now, employing 27. Distributed internationally. Last year's revenue approaching $2 million. Images flashed. Products. Warehouse. Articles. Retailer logos. Gasps rippled. Mom's hand covered her mouth. Dad leaned forward. Ethan looked stunned. Brooke froze. Color draining. I'm also silent partner in Maple and Bean downtown. Recognition murmurs. I've kept this private. But today I share it because you taught perseverance. Mom, even when my path seemed unexciting. My gift, A $250,000 scholarship fund for aspiring teachers. Honoring your support. Tears shone in Mom's eyes. But I wasn't done. The screen shifted to the bank transfer record. March 2023. I loaned Brooke $12,000 for her business. Due in 6 months with interest. Unrepaid despite reminders. The room stilled. Brooke's face twisted in rage. Text displayed her dismissive, insulting responses. An audio clip played her voice. You'll never shine like me. You're the boring one. Mom's expression shattered in recognition. I addressed the room, tolerated the abuse out of love, clothes borrowed and ruined, ideas stolen, heirloom deliberately damaged at my birthday. No more. Carla stood. Folder ready. Demand for repayment plus interest/fees. Compensation for the dress. Prepared court filing. Brooke shrieked denials. Fake. Jealousy. But Mom rose slowly. Is it true? Brooke. The private side room became a pressure chamber. Brooke dropped the act. Hissing accusations of ambush. Mom sank into a chair. Shattered. Did you say those things? Intend never to repay. Brooke pivoted to excuses, exaggerations, business risks. Carla countered coolly with the promissory note and records.
Dad.
Typically conflict avoidant. Surprised us. We welcomed you. Supported your dreams. And this is how you repay. Brooke lashed out. I brought excitement to this dull family. Connections. Status. Ethan finally broke silence. That's not true. You've isolated me. Spent our savings. Made me complicit in hurting my sister. Tears switched on for Brooke. I did it for us. But the room saw through it. Mom stood firm. Out of our house by week's end. I'm not your mother. Dad nodded in solidarity. Brooke signed the documents viciously. Stormed out. The family hug with Mom afterward carried years of unspoken regret. Forgive me for not seeing? Nothing to forgive. She fooled us all. I replied. Though Carla smiled. Not all of us. Returning to the ballroom. Mom announced the party continued. Downplaying Brooke's urgent departure. Whispers spread. Influencers checked phones and slipped away. Her circle fracturing. That evening at home. Processing unfolded honestly. Ethan stayed with a friend. Brooke packed briefly. Silent. Dad asked about my business plans. I shared visions. Physical studio store hybrid with workshops in calligraphy and watercolor. Mom suggested using repayment funds. When I mentioned considering spaces in Denver, Sophie starting kindergarten soon. Excellent schools. Fresh start. Faces fell but understood. We'll visit often, Dad promised. Even eyeing retirement property. Conversations deepened late into night. Mom admitted Brooke's wedges fed her insecurities about my choices. Dad confessed keeping peace at my expense. Never again. This family unites. Weeks rippled, with consequences. Brooke's followers dropped after veiled posts about the scene. Forced public apology video damaged her brand further. Ethan began therapy, rebuilding our sibling bond over weekly coffees. Parents sold the large house for a cozy bungalow, shedding painful memories. By December, plans accelerated. Willow and Inc. secured a converted warehouse headquarters in Denver. Sophie enrolled for fall kindergarten. Ryan landed a creative director role at a Denver publishing house. Excited for the chapter. I felt no glee at Brooke's fall, working as a barista. Boutique closed. Partnerships gone, but profound freedom from her diminishment. In late March, before our move, Ethan visited unexpectedly. Divorce finalized yesterday. We hugged. Therapy helped him see her isolation tactics, even faked messages from friends. He returned Grandma's lost recipe book, stolen for its sentiment. What now? I asked. Considering Denver too? If not weird. Family time lost already, welcome. Our last Chicago night. Mom and I sat on the porch under stars. Blankets shared like childhood. She reflected on missed signs of my hurt. A mother should know. Ash, Brooke exploited trust cleverly. What matters? Awareness now. Forward together. She kissed my head, my brilliant daughter. Empire building while underestimated. Not empire, just life on my terms. Driving away the next week. Sophie excited and back. Ryan navigating. Peace settled. Miles erased the weight of cruelty. Blindness. Silence. Respect earns through integrity, not blood. Powerful revenge. Refusing diminishment. Building authentically. Living valued. Seattle, no. Chicago, lessons endured. Quietest triumph. Becoming who I was meant to be.